but we totally screwed up some things. Those words from the CEO of the most valuable AI company on Earth marked one of the most spectacular product failures in tech history. August 2025. OpenAI launches GPT-5, the model that was supposed to change everything. PhD-level reasoning? Scientific breakthroughs? The next giant leap toward AGI? But within 48 hours, it all fell apart. Users revolted. Subscriptions were canceled. And a simple truth emerged, one that OpenAI never saw coming. Sometimes progress isn't enough. This is the story of GPT-5, OpenAI's most ambitious model, and its most humbling failure. But more importantly, it's the story of what happens when artificial intelligence becomes too smart for its own good. Because right now, as you watch this video, OpenAI is racing to build GPT-6, a model that must learn from these mistakes, or risk losing the AI war entirely. 700 million weekly users, trillions of dollars on the line, and one critical question nobody saw coming. Can AI be too intelligent and not human enough? Let's break this down. August 7th, 2025. OpenAI flips the switch on GPT-5. The company promised a revolution, a unified system that could think deeper, reason longer, and solve problems at PhD level. Sam Altman called it their best work yet. The tech world held its breath. And then, the backlash exploded. Users immediately noticed something was wrong. GPT-5 felt different, cold, mechanical, distant. Where GPT-4o had been warm, playful, almost human. This new model felt like talking to a research assistant who'd never heard of emotion. It killed my AI companion, one user wrote. Reddit communities like r/myboyfriendisAI and r/AI erupted in protest. Hashtags like #bringback. GPT-4o trended worldwide. Premium subscribers and people paying $20 a month threatened to cancel en masse. But here's the twist that nobody expected. OpenAI had made one critical decision that unraveled everything. They removed the option to choose between models. Unlike GPT-4o, where users could switch between different modes, GPT-5 forced everyone into a single unified experience. No choice, no flexibility, just cold clinical precision. And users hated it. So what actually went wrong under the hood? GPT-5 was designed as a unified system. Think of it like this. Instead of having separate tools for different jobs, OpenAI built one master tool that could do everything. Fast responses for simple questions. Deep reasoning for complex problems. All managed automatically by a routing system. Sounds brilliant, right? Except that routing system started misfiring. Sam Altman later admitted the auto-switching mechanism made GPT-5 appear dumber than it actually was. Sometimes it would use the wrong submodel for a task. Other times it would overthink simple questions. But the real problem wasn't technical. It was psychological. You see, OpenAI had optimized GPT-5 for accuracy, precision, and benchmark performance. They trained it using reinforcement learning from human feedback, RLHF, to reduce what they called sycophantic behavior. In other words, they made it less of a yes man. The problem? People loved the yes man. They loved the warmth, the validation, the feeling that ChatGPT actually cared about their problems. Technical superiority meant nothing if the emotional connection vanished. And that's when Sam Altman had his moment of reckoning. Let me paint you a picture of what this actually looked like in the real world. Imagine you're a developer who spent 6 months building your workflow around GPT-4o. You've learned its quirks, you know how to phrase questions. It's become a part of your process. Then overnight, it's gone, replaced by something that technically works better on paper, but feels completely alien. Or imagine you're someone dealing with loneliness, someone who found comfort in ChatGPT's warm, supportive responses. You shared your struggles, it listened, it validated your feelings, and then suddenly, that companion is replaced by something that answers your questions perfectly, but never asks how you're doing. Sam Altman estimated that less than 1% of users had what he called unhealthy relationships with ChatGPT. But he admitted something profound. There were hundreds of millions of users who didn't have relationships with the AI, but still got used to how it responded, validated them, and offered support. This was unprecedented. Altman himself said it felt different and stronger than the kinds of attachment people have had to previous kinds of technology. OpenAI had accidentally discovered something they never planned for. People don't just use AI, they connect with it. And you can't upgrade a connection like you upgrade software. To OpenAI's credit, they moved fast. Within 48 hours of the backlash, Sam Altman took to social media with a rare display of humility. "We for sure underestimated how much some of the things that people like in GPT-4o matter to them," he wrote. The company scrambled to implement emergency fixes. They brought back GPT-4o as an option for paid users. They created new selection modes, auto, fast, and thinking, giving users control again. They tripled rate limits for premium subscribers, and they pushed a personality update to make GPT-5 feel warmer. But the damage was done, because this wasn't just a product failure, it was a lesson about the future of human-AI interaction. OpenAI learned 3 critical things. 1. Technical benchmarks don't capture what users actually value. 2. You can't suddenly deprecate AI models that people depend on emotionally. And 3. The next generation of AI needs to balance intelligence with something harder to measure: humanity. Which brings us to the most important part of this story. GPT-6 is coming, and Sam Altman has made it very clear. This model will be different. Here's what we know. The timeline between GPT-5 and GPT-6 will be shorter than the gap between GPT-4 and GPT-5. That 28-month wait? Cut significantly. Some analysts speculate we could see GPT-6 as early as late 2025 or early 2026. But speed isn't the story. The story is what GPT-6 will be. Sam Altman has revealed that memory will be core to GPT-6. Not just remembering your last conversation. True long-term memory that understands who you are, what you care about, and how you prefer to interact. People want memory, Altman said. They want products that understand them. OpenAI is now working with psychologists to shape GPT-6's personality. They're tracking user emotions, well-being, and attachment patterns. The goal? An AI that can be warm without being manipulative, supportive without being sycophantic, intelligent without being cold. Altman has also hinted at unprecedented customization. Want a neutral, balanced AI? You've got it. Prefer something more progressive? It'll adapt. Need a strictly logical assistant? That's an option too. But there's a bottleneck. GPUs, compute power, infrastructure. Altman admitted OpenAI has better models already built, but can't deploy them because they don't have the capacity to serve 700 million weekly users. The company needs to double its compute fleet just to keep up with current demand. We would need trillions of dollars in data center construction in the not very distant future, Altman said. And here's his promise to everyone watching. What I can tell you with confidence is GPT-6 will be significantly better than GPT-5, and GPT-7 will be significantly better than GPT-6. And we have a pretty good track record on these. Bold words from a CEO who just admitted his company screwed up. But maybe that's exactly why we should believe him. So here's what the GPT-5 saga really teaches us. The race to AGI isn't just about building smarter algorithms. It's about building AI that understands what it means to be human. Because in August 2025, OpenAI learned the hardest lesson in technology. Progress without connection is just noise. You can have the most advanced model in the world, crushing every benchmark, solving every test, but if people don't feel understood, none of it matters. GPT-6 represents OpenAI's second chance, a model built not just on compute and data, but on humility, psychology, and the lessons of failure. Will it succeed? That depends on whether OpenAI can solve the hardest problem in AIE, making machines that are powerful enough to change the world, but human enough that we want them to. And maybe, just maybe, that's the real definition of artificial general intelligence. Not an AI that can do everything, but an AI that understands everyone. That's it for this one. The story of GPT-5's failure and GPT-6's promise. What do you think? Would you trust an AI that remembers everything about you? Or is that a step too far? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.